Hey guys, what's up? I'm Chantel. Welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I thought I'd share with you guys some of my favorite TV shows and my favorite YouTube channels to watch during quarantine slash summer. I know in like a lot of places some restrictions and like quarantine have been lifted, but there's been some places where they're still in place or they're going back into quarantine. So I thought I'd just share this with you guys anyways. So yeah, these are basically some shows that I have watched since the beginning of quarantine. Some of them I finished, some of them I'm still in the process of watching. So yeah, let's just get into the video. So first I'm going to start with Netflix, I think. So the first show is Outer Banks. If you guys haven't heard of it by now, honestly, like, do you watch Netflix? Do you watch TV? But no, if you haven't heard of it, it's basically about this group of teens that work together to find this treasure that is like buried like somewhere like in the ocean, because one of the kids or teens, his father had gone missing about like 9 months prior, and because he was going to find this gold, but then he ended up disappearing and he never came back. And so they try to like solve that whole mystery kind of thing, and through all that there's lots of like drama, romance, you know, lots of ships in there. So if that's your kind of thing, then I highly recommend it. Also be prepared to fall in love with either John B or JJ. I am more of a John B girl, but JJ is adorable as well. But yeah, next is Never Have I Ever. This is a really funny show. I find, at least, it's kind of like a comedy drama type show. It's basically about this, like, I think she's 16, a 16-year-old girl named Davy, who lives in like a fairly traditional Indian American family, and her father unfortunately passed away like a year before the show starts. And when the show starts, she has just recovered from an accident that left her basically paralyzed and in a wheelchair for like 3 months. But suddenly she's like able to walk again. Water. Anyways, once she goes back to school, everyone kind of like, what, she can walk again and all this stuff, and she's just kind of dealing with a lot of like things like trying to fit in, arguments with this one guy in her class that's really like, what's the word I'm looking for? He's really, like, really smart and like kind of like standoffish, I guess, and like smug. Anyway, so she tries to like deal with him. She also is like dealing with some issues with her two best friends, and she also really wants to start dating this guy named Paxton, who's like one of the most popular guys in the school. He's super hot, and her goal is to date him and have sex with him. That's basically what she wants to do. And yeah, I'm not gonna give too much away. It's because it's really funny. There's only one season so far. It's only like 10 episodes, and they're like, I think they're only like a half hour each. So it doesn't take you long to watch. If you want to binge it in a whole day, you can. That's what I did. I think I binged it in like 2 days because I finished Outer Banks first, and then I started it later that day. Anyways, next, actually, just let me see. I have them all written down in this little book here, and I can't remember all the shows in my head right now. So, what was the other one? Love Victor. Okay, wait, that's on Netflix. Whatever. So, now we're going on to Hulu. So, I actually live in Canada, and we don't have Hulu here, but I was able to watch Love Victor because I tweeted out that I wanted to watch it, and some girl sent me a link to a Google Doc that had all of the episodes, and I absolutely loved it. If you don't know what it's about, it's basically a TV show spin-off of the show, or the movie Love, Simon, which I actually haven't watched. I really want to watch it. But basically this guy named Victor, he moves to, where is it the show take place? California, I think? Yeah. He moves there from Texas. Or, was it, I don't remember. Anyways, yeah, he moves to, like, I think it's California from Texas, and when he gets there, he finds out that this guy named Simon went to his school before, and he was gay, and so Victor also thinks he's gay, so he starts contacting him, and when he goes to school, he doesn't want anyone to know, and his family's very, like, a traditional like Catholic family and like doesn't understand the whole LGBT community and anything like that. So he's trying to like keep it a secret from his family and from his new best friend who lives in the same building as him. His name is Felix, who he is hilarious. You will fall in love with him. I swear to God, I love him. But yeah, eventually he actually ends up meeting this girl who he thinks he likes, and they kind of start a relationship, and then like there's all kinds of just other like drama and stuff going on in the show. It's mostly centered around Victor like kind of finding himself and trying to come out to his family and his friends. So yeah. Also, there's a really good song from the soundtrack called Athlete. It's by one of my favorite artists, Grayson Chance. So definitely go check it out. Also, the theme song is so good. And in one of the episodes, it starts off with If I Can't Have You by Shawn Mendes playing, which is pretty cool. Next, let's see if I can find it. Babysitters Club. So back to Netflix now. Kind of going all over the place. So, I grew up loving, like absolutely being obsessed with Babysitters Club. I read almost like every book, maybe not every book, because there's like hundreds of books in the series, but I watched a lot, or read a lot of them, and then when I found out a few months ago that they were making a show out of it on Netflix, I was like freaking out, because I watched the old one that was on like the 90s, I have them on VHS, I watched them when I was a kid, but I can't really watch them anymore because I don't have a VHS player anymore, but yeah, and this show is, oh my god, it's so well done. I know it's like a little young for me to think about like middle school, but like I said, I grew up watching or reading these books, so there was no way I was not going to watch this show. And it's just does such a great job of keeping true to the original storylines of the books, because the first 10 episodes in season 1 all follow the first 10 books in the series, including the super special. And it's just so well done. Like, I just don't know what to say. Like, they kind of really keep true to the stories, but they also have like really nice modern twists to keep it like relatable to today's society, because the books were written in like I think the 80s, like early 90s. So obviously there's things that they would have said or done or had back then that we don't say or do or have in 2020. So yeah, they still keep some things, like they still got the landline in Claudia's room that they use to answer phone calls for the club meetings and stuff like that, but they also have, like, they all have cell phones, they deal with, like, social media issues. One of the kids that they look after is transgender. One of the characters, Dawn's father, is gay, which is something that was never talked about in the books before. But the author of the books is actually gay herself. But she is like super supportive of all of that and just everything. Highly recommend you go watch it. Alright, next is a show that I just recently finished. Just one second, I need water. So yeah, next is a show that I just recently finished. It's called Love on the Spectrum. It's basically like an online reality dating show for autistic people. Like, it features autistic people that are trying to find love, basically, or some of them have already found love. They're already in like super committed relationships and stuff like that. I loved it because I don't think I've ever spoken about this on here, but I'm actually on the autism spectrum myself. So I found it super relatable, and all of the characters, they're actual people, were just like the way that they like showed it, and they just made it so relatable, and they all talked about their struggles and stuff, which I could totally relate to. My favorite was Olivia. If you watch the show, you'll see that she's like this like super outgoing theater kid, and love her. Yeah, that's really all I've got to say about that. Highly recommend you watch it. It's so good. So yeah, now the next show, I have to look in my notebook again because I forget what it is. Okay, so we're still on Netflix. The next show is Modern Family, which I'm sure most of you have heard of by now. I started watching it like on TV, like just like a few years ago, just like randomly, like a few episodes here and there, but then they put it on Netflix, and I started watching it, like, from the beginning, so I think I'm on season 3 or 4 now. I've just kind of been watching it, like, when I'm bored and there's, like, nothing else. I'm sure you guys know what it's about. If not, definitely go check it out. It's hilarious, and I love it. So, yeah, I think that's it for Netflix, actually. Yes, it is. So now we're moving on to Disney+. This show, you guys are probably going to be sick of me talking about this. Like, I am obsessed with it. And if you haven't guessed by now, it's High School Musical, the series. Obviously, I had to include this. It's literally one of my favorite shows. If you guys don't know the plot, it's basically about this group of kids that put on a production of High School Musical at the actual school where the movies were filmed, East High. So that's pretty cool. Like, you see like all the original things, like Sharpay's locker and stuff like that. You see it all in the show. And basically, the first season kind of centers around the relationship between Ricky and Nene, which basically they broke up at the beginning of the summer because Nene was going off to camp and Ricky couldn't say I love you. So the whole season he's like trying to figure out like how he's like gonna say I love you to Nene, and he really regrets it because when they start back in school, she has a new boyfriend that she met at camp who was like this like super popular guy who's like the captain of the water polo team. He's super smart, like everyone loves him, but he's kind of really full of himself. His name is EJ, and basically the drama teacher, Miss Jen, announces that they're going to be doing High School Musical as the school musical, and Nene was like, okay, I have to audition because she's like this like diehard theater kid, and Ricky, who has never done theater in his life, decides to, like, just on a whim, to audition for the lead role of Troy just to get Nene back, and it ends up working out. Well, like, he gets the role. I won't say if he gets Nene back yet, but yeah, it's kind of awkward because, you know, everything going on, but there's also like tons of other like side characters and relationships going on, like Carlos and Seb, and like Big Red and Ashlyn, and yeah, such a good show. I've watched it like 5 times. Just go watch it. It's so good. The music is amazing. My voice is getting so dry from talking so much. Okay, so I think that's it for Disney Plus. Besides, like, obviously, like, I've been going back and like watching like some of my old favorite shows. Like, I've been watching Hannah Montana, Zack and Cody, Good Luck Charlie. Actually, funny story. Today I was watching a YouTube video and there's this little 6-year-old girl in this like family that I watch on YouTube, which I'll talk about later. And she was watching. Her and her siblings were watching Good Luck Charlie, and she was like, "We're watching Good Luck Charlie. It's Christmas. It's a really old show." And I was just there like, "Oh my gosh! I've just been told I'm old." Like, I was 12, I think, when Good Luck Charlie came out. Maybe like 11, I'm not sure. But, like, that literally made me feel so old. But anyways, moving on. The next show is also from Hulu. It's called Everything's Gonna Be Okay. As I mentioned before, I don't have Hulu because I'm in Canada, but I did manage to find a website where I could download every episode from season 1, which is the only season that's out right now. So good. Oh my gosh. Basically what it is, it's about this family. Again, a lot of these shows like that I watch, they all have a lot to do with family, which I love. So basically, there's these 2 girls. One of them is autistic, which I love, and the girl who plays her is actually autistic, which is amazing, because that's not something that's really done a lot in shows, but it needs to be done more. Like, we need autistic actors to play autistic characters. So we are the only ones that can portray them accurately. Just putting that out there. Also, if anyone's looking to hire an autistic theater kid or like actor for some show, movie, musical, hello, I can't sing or dance, but I can act. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so basically, yeah, there's these two girls, and their mother passed away when they were young, and so they live with their father, and then their older half-brother lives in Australia, but he comes by to visit, and while he's visiting, their father tells him and the girls that he has cancer and he's gonna die. And even though it sounds very serious, it's actually a comedy. It's like a dramedy, I guess is the right word. But yeah, anyways, the father ends up passing away, and their older brother has to look after these 2 teenage girls who are like, I think they're like 14 and 17 or something like that. And just kind of like brings you through all like the ups and downs of their family lives. Matilda, the autistic girl, struggles with autism, and relationships. She's trying to find like how to properly handle, like go about like having a mature relationship, and she kind of experiments dating guys, dating another autistic girl in her class, who again is also played by an autistic actor, which is great. And then their brother is gay, and he's kind of struggling with how to handle looking after these girls, with also dating this guy that he just met, like when he came to America, and it's hilarious, honestly. Highly, highly recommend, and it portrays autism very well, so that's really great. And then the next show is also on Hulu. I tried to start watching this on the same website that I was watching Everything's Gonna Be Okay on, but the episodes wouldn't download for me. But it's called Good Trouble. I used to be, still love the show The Fosters on Netflix. It's one of my favorite shows. I'm adopted myself, and I was in foster care, so obviously, like, I can relate to the characters, which is amazing. But basically, the Good Trouble is the spin-off of The Fosters, and it's available on Freeform and Hulu. We don't have Freeform in Canada. We do have another channel that shows the episodes, but I don't think, like, at my house, I don't think we actually get the channel. But yeah, basically it's a spin-off, and it's about Callie and Mariana. They have just graduated college, and they're working and living together in LA, I think. Callie is working for a judge or something, and Mariana is working as, like, one of the only girls in this, like, tech business or something. I'm not exactly sure. I only got, like, part way into the first episode, and then they said that I had to pay to watch the rest of it, and it was like, heck no. So I'm gonna try to figure out how to watch it. If you guys know, then send me some links or something. But yeah, so those are pretty much all the shows that I have watched over quarantine that I would highly, highly recommend you watch. So yeah, now we're gonna go on to some YouTube channels that I watch. But first, I'm gonna take a drink because I am thirsty. So YouTube channels. The first one I'm going to start with is one of my favorite family channels. I'm not sure if you guys are into that kind of thing, but I really only watch one family channel, or actually two, but they're related. They're called The Crazy Middles and The Crazy Pieces. Basically, how do I explain this? So they have each adopted a ton of kids. So the Crazy Middles have 20 kids. I know it sounds like a lot. I think 2 of them are biological, and the rest are adopted. They don't all still live at home because some of them are, like, in college or working, and they moved out and whatever, and got married. But then there's, like, 14 of them that are still in school, and, like, still living at home. One of them just graduated, but she's not going to college yet because of COVID, so she's still, like, helping out with the younger kids. But yeah, they're just an amazing family, and I just love how much they, like, talk about adoption and about family and stuff like that, because, like I said before, I was adopted when I was young. Some of these kids were the same age I was when I was adopted. Some of them are, like, older teens or, like, older kids when they were adopted. And they just kind of talk about their experiences with that, but also they don't just focus on adoption. They, like, do, like, back to school videos, which I have an obsession with watching, even though I graduated high school, like, 3 years ago. They do, like, challenges. What else do they do? Just, like, vlogs, Q&As, all kinds of just really fun stuff. And, like, there's a ton of kids of all different ages, so it's really fun to watch. You can, kind of, like, choose your favorites if you want. Yeah, also they open, like, fan mail at the end of every video, and today I was watching their 2 most recent videos, and they got fan mail from none other than Julia Lester from High School Musical, the series. She plays Ashlyn, and they, like, freaked out because she gave them the novelization of the show, and as soon as I took it out, they were like, "Oh my gosh, I love this show." It was the 3 oldest girls, Lizzie, Lacey, and Cynthia. Not oldest, they're, like, the 3 oldest that are still at home. And then they found out that it was actually from her. They freaked out even more, and then the next video, she sent them something else. I think she sent them, like, a sprinkler or something, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, it's the girl from yesterday from High School Musical the series!" And then there's their cousins, the Crazy Pieces, so that would be Shelley, the mother of the Crazy Middles. Her sister Crystal and her husband Aaron have 10 kids. One of them lives with her older biological sister and her daughter, like, a few hours away, but the rest of them still live at home, and they're actually in the process of adopting 2 more kids. Right now, I don't know their names right now, but I think they're, like, between, like, the ages of, like, 12 and 14. I think so, I'm not sure. If you watch the video right now, their faces are blurred out because they can't be in until they're officially adopted. But yeah, same kind of thing, basically a lot of the same kind of content, back to school videos, vlogs, Q&As, lots of, like, talk about adoption. All the kids are, like, super, like, just, like, so personable and, like, outgoing, and I just don't know what else to say about them. So yeah, and they have a little girl. Her name is Aurora. She's 3 years old, and she's the cutest thing ever. So yeah. So the next channel I'm going to talk about is one of my favorite YouTubers that's it's one of my favorite smaller YouTubers. I've been watching her for probably about 3 years now. Going on 4 years. Wow, has it really been that long? Holy crap. Anyways, her name is Christina B. I'm sure some of you have probably heard of her. In fact, I think she actually watches some of my videos. So if you are watching this, hey Christina. I absolutely love her content. She started off a few years ago doing videos mainly about Shawn Mendes, which I love because, as you can see, I love Shawn Mendes. Literally the love of my life. So, yeah, also he's going to be 22 in 2 days. That's kind of crazy, but moving on. Back to Christina. So, yeah, she also does, like, a lot of, like, playlist videos which talk about, like, her favorite songs. She also loves Why Don't We. She like, some college-related videos because she's going into her 2nd year of college, which I guess in America you would call it your, what is it, sophomore year, I think? We don't say it like that in Canada, but I just know it from just, like, Twitter and stuff and movies and TV shows. But, yeah, she does, like, clothing hauls. She's just, like, super, like, sweet. And funny, and she's so pretty too. Yeah, so if you love Shawn Mendes, Why Don't We, just music in general, kind of like lifestyle, haul type videos, vlogs, she does a lot of concert videos, because she's seen Shawn 3 times, I think, and Why Don't We once, and she met Shawn once, and she did Q&A twice, and he answered her question, which was super cool, so happy for her. But yeah, definitely go check out her channel. She hasn't uploaded videos in like a few, like, maybe like but yeah, another one of my favorite smaller YouTubers is her name is Milu Lisa. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. She's from the Netherlands, and kind of like Christina, she does like concert-related videos. She's a huge fan of Shawn. She does also a lot of like clothing hauls, a lot of playlist videos. What else does she do? Vlogs, concert vlogs, like stuff like that. So if you're into that kind of thing, definitely go check them out. Yeah, another one is Kaelyn Ann. She hasn't really been that active on YouTube this summer, but she just uploaded a video a few days ago, and I think she said she's gonna be trying to upload more, like, more frequently now. But I mean, there hasn't really been much to do with quarantine, so I can understand like people not really uploading. But yeah, she's again the same kind of thing. Loves Shawn Mendes. Lots of concert videos. She goes to like tons of concerts, like. Who has she been? Like Shawn, Harry, Niall, who else? Like, you name it. Like, she's probably been at the concert. So, she also does, like, just some playlist videos, lots of, like, clothing hauls, a lot of college-related videos. She's going into her, is it her 3rd year of college, I believe? I'm not sure. It's either her 2nd or 3rd. And, yeah, she has a lot of, like, vlogs, like, a week in my life and things like that. Yeah, she's pretty cool. Then another one, same kind of thing, her name is Megan. Megan Elizabeth. She is a huge One Direction fan. I'm sure if you're a One Direction fan, you have probably watched her videos before. I absolutely love her. She does, like, just reaction videos. That's another thing that I forgot to mention. All those other people I had mentioned before do reaction videos. But yeah, she does reaction videos to, like, all the One Direction, like, solo songs. And she also does like just like different like One Direction type videos. Like she did a reaction video to like their 10-year anniversary thing that they posted on their anniversary, which I'm not going to talk about because I'm emotional. We still need to get the Infinity music video. Anyways, she also goes to like a ton of concerts. She loves Shawn as well, but she's met him a couple times. She's met Niall and Liam as well. Yeah. I don't know what else to say about her. I just really love her videos. She also is very active on TikTok. I'm going to try to link these people's channels down below as well, just so that you guys can find them easily. So yeah, next, this girl that I'm going to talk about now is does videos about two things that I'm very passionate about. One of them being One Direction, of course, like I just said, and the other one being autism. Her name is Princess Aspie, and her Chloe Hayden, and oh my gosh, like I love her. Like she's literally like me, except she's a little more confident and she's Australian. But yeah, she is amazing. She loves One Direction, like huge One Direction fan. She met Niall twice. I was actually just rewatching that video last night. She like met him and he like remembered who she was and everything, and it was like, what? But yeah, she does a ton of like reaction videos about One Direction and stuff like that, and like story times and concert videos, because she loves going to concerts. But she also does a lot of videos relating to autism, like stuff about sensory overload, autism traits in girls. What else? Oh my gosh, I'm like blanking. Just like how to handle like certain situations, like stim toys that she recommends, and just things like that, which I find very helpful. And she's just like a huge inspiration to me. Like I want to be like her. She is like I would love to meet her someday. I actually have a podcast. I interview people with like different disabilities and things like that, and she is like one of my like dream people to get on the podcast. So yeah, Chloe, if you're watching this, please contact me on Instagram at _Chantilly or at Just a Typical Podcast. I would love to talk to you. Also, for any of you watching, that's my Instagram and my podcast Instagram, so go check it out. So yeah, and then next getting into like some bigger YouTubers, I guess, we've got, of course, Beautychicky. If you're a Why Don't We fan, you probably know who she is. She is a vlogger, YouTuber from New York. She lives in New York City, and she does a lot of, like, just funny video. Like, she did one last night that she just uploaded called, like, reading my Twitter drafts, which was hilarious. She does story times, she does Q&As. She used to do, like, a lot of makeup-related videos and, like, beauty guru type stuff. She doesn't really do that as much anymore. Sometimes she does. But yeah, she does, like, I don't even know, she's like everything, basically. And the reason why I say if you're a Why Don't We fan, you should know who she is, or not sure, but you might know who she is, because she's been dating Corbin Besson for a few years now. She used to do videos with him, but they decided after, like, 2 years to keep the relationship more private. But yeah, I don't really know what else to say. I just really love her videos. She actually has a clothing line. It's called Bitchy. Go check it out. bitchyapparel.com. I actually have one of her shirts. I think I might have shown it in a video in the past, but yeah, definitely go check that out. But yeah, she also has a podcast called The Really Bitchy Podcast, so definitely go check that out as well. Who else is there? I just had someone in mind and I'm forgetting who it is. Oh, the Kaelyn Crawford. So if you don't know who Kaelyn Crawford are, I don't know how to say this. So they are like best friends. Unfortunately, Corey passed away a few months ago. He was killed in a car accident. But after the accident, Crawford decided to keep the channel, and he just uploads videos with like his roommates, which you might know who they are. I'm sure you probably do. Keegan and JC, not Keegan, but mainly JC. Who else? Christian C. It's like that whole like friend group. I'm sure you guys know. If you guys are Why Don't We fans, you probably know who I'm talking about. About the 21 group, I think is what they call themselves. There's who was there? Crawford, Christian, JC, Keegan, William, Dylan, Neza, Franny, and a few others. That's the only ones I can think of right now. But yeah, definitely go check out Kaelyn Crawford's channel, and go check out Crawford's personal channel, and like all those people that I just mentioned, just go check out their channels if you haven't already. I'm sure you have, because they're pretty popular. So yeah. And another one, I haven't actually watched her videos recently, but her name is Keegan Acton. I guess she'd be like a smaller YouTuber. She does a lot of like beauty and like fashion related videos, as well as like a lot of college related videos. She's going to her 3rd year of college, I believe, and she does like just a lot of like hauls, a lot of like week in my life type videos, and like college like advice videos, things like that. So definitely go check her out. But yeah, I think that is it for today's video. It only was like really long. I was like rambling a lot. So if you managed to stay till the end, thank you so much, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.